Training camp, and he's definitely got the inside track. Word is that they're having some problems with injuries.
Really? And are they looking into free agent signings last second, anything like that? Or?
Possibly, and they've got a strong farm club, too. They've got some AAA ball players they might be bringing up, but again, Peter would certainly be able to tell us a little more about that in the next half hour.
Who do you like?
Well, I'm telling you, so far, I like what I'm seeing in New York. They've got a strong ball club as usual. That's in the American. And in the National, I'm still liking Chicago with a little bit of a twist here for Los Angeles.
Okay, so we're looking at New York, Chicago, World Series, possible Los Angeles. You've got it here. Hey, hold him to it at the end of the season. That's going to do it for us from the Sports Desk right now. Back to you guys in the studio. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for nothing, Eddie.
Thank you, guys. That's not all we're following. Here's Karen at the Health Desk.
The world of medicine has seen its share of miracle cures, from the polio vaccine to heart transplants, but all past achievements may pale in comparison to the work of Dr. Alice Crippen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Not at all.
So, Dr. Crippen, give it to me in a nutshell.
Well, the premise is quite simple. Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
You're talking about a virus?
Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful. And I find the best way to describe it is if you can imagine your body as a highway and you picture the virus as a very fast car being driven by a very bad man, imagine the damage that car could cause. But then if you replace that man with a cop, the picture changes, and that's essentially what we've done.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many are cancer-free?
10,009.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes, yes. Yes, we have.
During the first part of the opening sequence, sports news plays over the opening credits, a news anchor interviews a guest about a medical breakthrough, and the guest, Dr. Crippen, reveals that a cure for cancer has been discovered. We hear two presenters discuss the sports news. This sounds light-hearted, familiar and normal. It establishes a comfortable atmosphere, a world we recognise, and we don't necessarily expect anything dramatic to happen. Dr. Crippen smiles as she reveals that a cure for cancer has been discovered. Her reaction reinforces the positive nature of the news, and we get an impression of a major breakthrough. We expect that the cure will be welcomed. The scene cuts suddenly to black. This is startling and unexpected, as it happens mid-conversation. The editing seems awkward and unnatural, and we don't know why such good news would be cut off like this. A single, deep bass note accompanies the cut to black. The note sounds ominous. It is unsettling and contrasts with the optimistic tone of the earlier conversation. We get the feeling that something has gone wrong. During the second part of the opening sequence, we are shown various views of New York City. We see a wide shot of Fifth Avenue, which is deserted. This emphasises the emptiness and conveys a sense of the total stillness. This is not what we expect to see in New York. The setting is a dusty, overgrown urban environment with no people. This is not how we have ever expected to see New York, and it contrasts with our expectations of a vibrant city. We wonder what's happened to the people. The scene cuts to different New York landmarks. This emphasises the total lack of people across the city and suggests a monumental catastrophe. We want to know what has happened. We hear few familiar city noises, just birds, insects, animal calls, and the wind. This contrasts with our expectations of the city. We associate these sounds with the countryside and wild places, and it's eerie and unsettling.
What you say?
In the third part of the opening sequence, Neville drives through the streets of New York. We see a close-up of Neville's hand holding a rifle. This suggests that he is prepared and protective. He is ready to kill. It signals danger. We wonder what the threat could be. Neville passes abandoned military vehicles and a pile with a wrecked cop car, ambulance and fire truck. This suggests that nobody was able to defend against disaster. It emphasises Neville's total isolation and presents the idea of a formidable enemy. The camera pushes in on a butterfly-shaped tear on a poster that reads, "God still loves us." This highlights the significance of the symbol and message. It suggests the importance of faith and introduces the motif of the butterfly. Neville looks concerned and asks Sam, his dog, what he sees. This shows us that Neville is looking for something. It reveals his caution and preparedness for trouble. It suggests a danger that is ever present. During the fourth part of the opening sequence, a deer leaps across Neville's path, he swerves to avoid it, and then he pursues a group of deer, taking aim. We see a close-up reaction shot of Neville's shocked face. This emphasises his complete surprise and shows that he wasn't prepared. It suggests an unpredictable, dangerous environment. As the deer appears, we hear a sudden, high-pitched squeal. This is startling and unexpected. We only heard engine noise before this, and it's an extreme contrast with the deep sound of the engine. It's like a scream, someone in pain or distress. The scene cuts very rapidly between a variety of shots after the appearance of the deer. This reveals how quickly Neville must react and shows that he's taken by surprise. He almost loses control, and this shows the danger he's in. We see a group of deer in the middle of a city. This is not something we expect to see in an urban setting, and it shows how much has changed. We want to know why. Life is much more wild and much less familiar.